I'm Lauren, that awkward plant girl. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see you guys. Thank you guys for popping in. Today is really hot. It's really hot in my plant room. It's in the 90s. I've turned off the fan so that way you guys can hear me. But I'm going to be a sweaty, gross mess this entire video. You have been warned. This is a philodendron collection video. I think I have like 20, 22, something like that. I thought I only had 18 and then I just kept finding more and I lost count. So it's more than 18. Anyway, let's get into it. First up is this Burl Marks Philodendron. I actually have 4 of these and I did a whole care video on this. This plant is absolutely gorgeous. This is beautiful. I absolutely love this plant. It's definitely like if I was to recommend one beginner philodendron to somebody who just got into plants, I think this would be it, other than like the regular heartleaf philodendron. So definitely love this plant. Definitely give it a shot if you haven't, and if you're worried about it and you need some tips, go check out my video. All right, so let's get the next one. So this one right here, I will give close-ups of these as well, so like you're not gonna be missing anything. But this is a philodendron Birkin, and basically the leaves come in a beautiful white and green striped. They can get more and more white the more light they get, and then they will fade to dark and get more green as they get older. So as you can see, it's also one of those philodendrons that are upright, and it has a new leaf unfurling in the center. Hopefully this is picking up, but like I said, I will be putting video of it for you so you can see. What I really love about this plant is that the stems can be green, they can be white, they can be red, or they can be red and white, or red and green, and it's just a really fun variegation on the stem, as well as all of this to play with and see lighting wise with the leaves. It's a really fun plant. I got this for $10 at Safeway on an impulse buy. I had seen it for hundreds of dollars before, and I had heard that it was such a difficult plant to care for, and I was just like, nope, not gonna do it. But I lucked out. I found it as like a little 4-leafer for $10 at Safeway, and I picked it up, and it has been awesome ever since. Definitely a new surprise every time, and it really doesn't give me any trouble. Like, as long as I keep it warm and keep it directly under the grow light, it's good. I have it over by my plants on boards. If you haven't seen that video, I need to do an updated video on that anyway. I'll add that to my list. And this little cutie right here is the variegated philodendron Burl Marks, which I got not too long ago. It has pushed out 2 new leaves, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new growth points on it, and it's pushed out 2 new leaves since I got it. I have the unboxing video, but as you can see, it looks like the philodendron Burl Marks. But the variegation in this one is actually in the genetics. It's not something that comes and goes with light and whatnot. It just puts it out when it feels like it. So if you get a highly variegated plant, then it's probably going to put out more variegation for a long time, might go dormant for a little bit and then bring it back. This is a cutting, so they tend to not really have a whole lot of variegation as little younger immature plants, and they tend to get that as they get older. So that's probably what's going on here. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it'll give me some variegation. This was totally a dream plant. I found it for very cheap from a good seller, not like a scam sell. So it is what it is, but I'm excited, and I will show you the new foliage and everything on it. This is my Philodendron Prince of Orange, commonly known as Poo, P-O-O. Mainly because a lot of people just don't like it. And honestly, I understand why. It's kind of a pain as far as to get it to come out with decent leaves. If it doesn't have enough light and it doesn't have enough humidity, if it has too little or too much of either one, it will come out with funky leaves like this. And then I just keep moving it from place to place, just trying to figure out where was the best place for it. And then with my seasonal changes here, I would have to move it to a different place in order to get it to grow and be happy. So, I mean, it puts out big, beautiful leaves. What it does is it comes in a bright, vibrant orange, fades to a red, and then eventually fades to this green color. And it's just really cool to see. definitely give it a shot. If you're a little bit more experienced in philodendron, if you have a nice humidity setup, then this is definitely one. It is not one that I would recommend for beginner plant parents though. It's definitely not easy, And when it gets cranky, it does shed leaves on the bottom. I have done no maintenance to this thing, so I'm exposing myself here. But this is the reality of it, guys, okay? This is a little teeny tiny baby Philodendron Gloriosum. So it's going to get big and vibrant and huge, and it's going to have these big, beautiful, pillowy, heart-shaped leaves with white venation and drool. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be glorious, right? But this is what I have right now. This is what I'm working with. So there is that. But I promise it's going to get really cool. So I'm just keeping this in my little terrarium, the same one it's been in for like 6 months now. And it's growing. It actually probably needs a fertilizer. It started out... It came as a very big plant. Well, not a very big plant. It came as like a 3-leaf cutting with a big chunk of sized leaf, and it was good. But then it tanked. I got down to just one little teeny tiny node with this thing. And then I was able to resurrect that node with one little leaf, and then it's pushed out all of this scents. So it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited with how it has turned out. I'm just glad that it came back, and I'm glad I have it. Let's do this one next. Okay, so this is one of my favorite plants. Absolutely favorite philodendron for sure. This is a Philodendron Camposportuanum, and you're probably sitting here going, that does not look impressive at all. And this little guy is not. It's not. But what was impressive was when it was like 2.5 feet long before I chopped it. So I have a whole bunch of cuttings in my little propagation box. But this plant will grow little lobes almost like a syngonium as it matures, and it comes in like a beautiful reddish color, and it has very much like a light green micans vibes, and then it gets lobed. And it's just a very unique shape. It's very cool looking. I got this one from Patrikios, and it's definitely come down in price. It's a very, very inexpensive plant. If you do not have one, you have to get it. Like, it should be a staple philodendron. If you only get 5 philodendron ever, this should be one of them, because it's an amazing plant. It does so much for so little. It's an easy care plant. I don't do anything except for shove it in some humidity. It's got hardly any light at all, and it puts out like crazy. So this is what has been chopped and left over, and was just one little leaf and a stick, and is grown from that. But it grew like crazy in my propagation boxes, so I actually have a ton of it, and I love it. So this is a Philodendron Silver Stripe. This was sent to me in a trade by my friend Plants and Things by Chris, I believe is her title. Christina, she's amazing. So I've got this little plant from her. She sent me a little chunk. So it had 2 leaves when it came, I believe, maybe 3, but it's pushed out a couple. It's a really, really pretty plant. Like, I can't even do it justice with my camera, honestly. Like, I would need a fancy camera to be able to come even close to doing justice to this plant. It's so pretty, but it grows so easily, just like a heartleaf philodendron or a Brazil philodendron. So definitely, if you haven't got one of these and you get an opportunity, maybe like in a trade or something, if I don't know what they're going for price-wise now. I haven't looked them up in a while, but yeah, it's definitely one to get. It's very easy. It's just in moss right now. I did add a little bit of fertilizer, but it's growing like crazy. I'm definitely going to have a full pot of this soon, and I'm very excited for that. So next up is this Philodendron Mame. So it came with maybe 1 to 2 leaves. It dropped, I think it was 2 leaves actually. It came with a bigger leaf and a smaller leaf. It dropped the big leaf, dropped the smaller leaf. It pushed out all 3 of these new leaves since I got it. And it's just, it's such a pretty plant. I do believe it loses the silver as it gets older. I'm not 100% sure on that. There is a Mame Silver Cloud that keeps the silver, and then there is another Mame version that loses it as it matures, if I recall correctly. Don't quote me on that. I could be mistaken. But it's just growing in perlite and a little bit of sphagnum right now. But it's pretty happy. It chills in my greenhouse in the bottom shelf. It does not get very much light. Yeah, so, but it's really pretty. It has Scindapsus silver sparkle going on with these leaves, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It wasn't that expensive either, and the new leaves come out even more silvery with more green. Like, it's just a really cool plant. Definitely give that one a shot. It is so hot up here. Oh my gosh. All right, so speaking of silver plants, this is the Philodendron brantianum. I got this as a little 3-leaf, 1-node each leaf cutting. Rooted that, I believe I had to root it. And then this is what has come of it. I know since then, Costa Farms or big box stores, whatever, whoever, has released big baskets of these for fairly inexpensive. I have not found them in my store, and honestly, I'm pretty attached to this because I'm having so much fun getting them to size up. The one thing with these though is if you want them to size up, they need a higher humidity and really good light. If you don't give them the higher humidity, they go down. If you don't give them enough light, they go down, even on a pole to climb. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind with these. Like, the leaves are beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. If you have a grow tent, that would probably be optimum conditions to size these up. If you do end up getting this plant, plan on having just little smaller leaves, unless you can give it that high humidity. And that's not just my experience. I've talked to several other plant collectors as well that have had the same issues and have the same problems and had the same fixes. So it's a pretty common thing. Unfortunately, for such a beautiful plant, I wish it was just a little bit easier. But it is so pretty and honestly well worth it. If I had the space for a grow tent, I would absolutely put it in there and I would love to grow it. So as it is, I'm just enjoying it. Tiny and very cute heart-shaped silver leaves. And then this one right here is my Philodendron painted lady. It had some weird sectoral variegation going on there for a bit. And then here it is here. It's actually... No, it's not thirsty. We're good. I was like, am I neglecting this plant? No, it's good. And then it's got a new leaf coming in here. I need to continue to put it on the pole here. As you can see, it keeps coming off. It doesn't actually want to attach. I feel like this would be a really great moss pole or plants on boards contender. I just haven't pulled it out of my greenhouse and made the effort to do that yet. But it's a beautiful plant. It was a wish list plant. It's got this beautiful yellow painted look to it. Mine is in a lower light, so it's not as prominent, but definitely, especially on the newer leaves when it comes in, you can definitely see that that's what it has going on. But this is an absolute wonderful plant. I got it in December, I believe. Around that time is when I remember talking about it first. I would have to go back and check. I don't know how long I've had this, actually. Yeah, it's just a super cute plant. It's just really, really adorable. I love that it's got a new leaf going on. Every leaf is a surprise with this plant too, so very easy to grow as well. This one is a little bit of a mystery. I bought this one as a Dark Lord. I bought it as like a 1 to 2 leaf cutting. I think it was fully rooted. I got it over a year ago. And it looked like a baby Philodendron Dark Lord. So I've been kind of going with that. But now that it's starting to get mature and it's starting to get more leaves, it's not really changing its look or its shape. So I'm thinking it's not a Philodendron Dark Lord. You guys let me know and tell me what you think, okay? So it's got this reddish brown stem going on. The leaves come in like this, so they're almost a reddish green color, but they're not Dark Lord dark, you know? And then they fade to this dark green, which I know a lot of philodendron do before they mature, but it's got all of this going on. It's not like it's a little teeny tiny plant anymore. It's definitely wanting to climb. It's got all these aerial roots going on. Like, it's a really cool plant. I'm really enjoying it. Trying to size it up and whatnot. I need to get it on a better pole. I don't give this I don't give it the love that it deserves, but honestly, I think it's because I've had it for a year now and I've kind of become disenchanted by it. At this point, like, I think I just need to get it on a pole and see what it's really gonna do. But it's got like a reddish brown stem, and then it's got reddish brown petioles, but it's not dark like a Philodendron Dark Lord would be. So I don't think that it's actually that, which kind of makes me sad because I was so excited. It's a wish list plant. But let me know what you think about that, okay? So these two plants are actually stand-ins because I've got the big one over here And I've got the other one back there. So I will show you these ones so that you can kind of see, but I'm going to show you clips of the big ones. These are just kind of stand-in plants. So this is the Hartley Philodendron, and I've got a nice big climbing one. And then this is the Philodendron Brazil. I chopped up my Brazil, so it's looking a little raggedy, and I put it in this pot, so I have a full pot of it instead of my other pot looking full. So that's that. But both of these totally easy to grow. Definitely, just like the silver stripe, can't recommend them enough. Definitely give them a shot. They grow so easily. Give them low light, high light, whatever. This is highlight, and it's turning into like a neon, and it's losing the stripy variegation. It's just a surprise. This one is like super plant, basically. Like, you never know what you're gonna get with it. It could be a Rio, it could be a Gabby. You never know. It's a Philodendron Brazil. Freaking love this plant. So definitely give it a shot. If you don't have one, definitely get one. And then same with the Hartley Philodendron. It has no variegations, just straight up green, but it's such an easy grower. It can climb, it can trail. If you let it trail, then the leaves get smaller as it goes. And if you let it climb, then they get bigger, majority of the time. So definitely, they're very common. They're very common plants too, so you should be able to find them at big box store or trade for them really easily. Here's another stand-in plant. This is a little teeny tiny Philodendron micans. This was a one leaf cutting that I put in here, and then it's just grown into this little monstrosity in here. I'm going to put it in a terrarium that I'm working on. Hopefully next week, actually. I actually almost have that terrarium done. I will be posting the video probably Saturday. So just got to get everything together. Anyway, I have a big micans on Plants on Boards micans right over there, kind of behind you and off to the side. So I will show you that over there in just a minute. It's kind of a mess because some have decided to come off the board and whatnot, but I'll show you that over there in a minute. But here is this little micans, and they look more like the Hartley Philodendron because they're actually a mutation from the Hartley Philodendron, but they're very dark, vibrant, very velvety when they mature, and they just get more and more dark and bigger and more elongated. It's really cool, fun plant. So I'll show you more mature leaves than these in just a sec. Okay, and then this one is another variegation, just another variety of the Hartley Philodendron. This is the neon Philodendron. It mutated from my Philodendron Brazil, and I put it off to the side, and then this is the beauty that we have. So that's what we have going on here. It's just very neon and sparkly. It's very golden in the front, and then it glitters in the back. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up, but that's what it does. It's just super cool plant. So I'm just kind of letting this one grow, and then I'll chop it and make a full pot, or maybe I'll just try to like air layer it. I don't know. What do you think? Should I air layer it? Maybe just pin it to the top? What do you think? I haven't actually had time to sit down and look at these in a long time, so it's got a new little baby leaf coming in. See, it's so fun when you actually get a chance to look at your plants, you know? All right. This whole box is actually from Talk Planty to Me. Finchy over there is freaking amazing. If you're not following her channel, definitely go and do it. She gave me these plants for my birthday, so I now am many more philodendron richer than I was before, all thanks to her kindness and generosity, and they're beautiful plants. Like, thank you. So I wanted to share them with you guys today because they're part of the philodendron collection, but they've been in here the entire time. So first up, we've got this beautiful pink princess, and I'm keeping everything in the substrate that she gave it to me in. The only thing I did was water it when it was dry, so that is pretty much it. I'm keeping it in the box so it's in the higher humidity, and as you can see, like, it's just, she's the queen of pink princesses. If you want to learn about pink princesses, definitely go and check her out. Look at her propagation methods. Like, she's on top of it, and this is just so freaking beautiful. I was not sold on pink princesses at all until she was like, hey, you know, do you want a pink princess? And I was like, I don't know. I've seen one that looked freaking amazing that kind of made me want to dip my toe in it. Greenhouse Girl 94 on Instagram has a huge one that's mature and taller than she is and just beautiful. And then when I saw that plant, I was like, okay, so that's what those muddy leaves can potentially turn into. Okay, I can see maybe getting one of those down the road. not wish list plant material, but definitely. And then Finchie sent me this, and now I'm totally gone to the dark side. Get a pink princess. Get a good pink princess. So I'm very excited for this. All right, so this is the next one that she sent me. This is a Philodendron Splendid, which is another climbing plant and definitely a wish list plant. I was very excited to get this one, but she sent it with this leaf, and then I believe this leaf was unfurling or was newly unfurled when I received it, if I recall correctly. And then this one has since unfurled since she sent it to me. It's the cutest little baby leaf. But it's very Micans vibes, very velvety, and it has a lot of the redness to it as well. And it is another climbing or trailing philodendron, so it's not an upright philodendron like the pink princess. So there is that. And then, okay, so I haven't pulled these out of here at all. So this was a propagation that she sent me, and you can see that this is the leaf that has passed on. That was the very bottom leaf, so not worried about that one passing on at all. It has pushed out 1 or 2 leaves since we got it, since she sent it to me. And it has another new leaf coming in. This one up top is the newest leaf, and it's just so beautiful. Honestly, it's just such a beautiful plant. I never thought that I would own this plant, so I'm just very excited. It's such a beautiful plant, and it's growing super easy. Like I said, I'm not doing anything to it. I got it around July 12th, where my birthday is. I've just kept it in this little box right under my grow light the entire time. I've done absolutely nothing to it. I don't want to kill any of these, so that is where they are at. This is the last one, the last philodendron that she sent me. She sent me more plants, but you got to watch my birthday video for that. But this is a philodendron white princess. So, and this can actually get a little bit of pink with the white. So it'll have white variegation, usually in sectoral chunks, and then it'll have it'll have speckling similar to a Monstera constellation, where it just has the random splotches, but it's very infrequent that it has that. Monstera stanleyana albo. It's got variegation like that, okay? But on a philodendron with a spear-shaped philodendron leaf, and it can occasionally have pink variegation, and then it occasionally has pink on the sheaths as well and on the stem. So it's really cool. You don't really know what you're going to get. It's one of the few philodendron that does that. So I think it's the only white and pink philodendron out there on the market currently, other than the pink blush philodendron Birkin. Sorry, I'm getting super nerdy right now. But anyway, it's a really cool plant. Again, not one I ever thought that I would actually own. It's just way far out there. So I am super, super grateful and very excited. It has unfurled a leaf. It's got a new leaf coming, and it's just, it's so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So definitely wanted to share that one. And gush over Finchie some more, fan for life. So that was it for these ones. So I'm going to close these ones up. I don't want them out, just chilling out here for too long. I'm trying to keep them all good. There we go. Okay, so that is it. I have one more philodendron to show you guys, and actually it's a brand new one. I just got it a couple of days ago. I filmed an unboxing for it, and then I ended up messing up the filming of the unboxing, so I wasn't able to get that out to you guys, which is why there was no video Saturday and why there is this video Tuesday. So that's what happened there, guys. Sorry, I made a boo-boo, but this is the plant. Ta-da! Philodendron tortum, you guys, and it's got the actual tortum leaf unfurling right here, and it's just oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I love it. I think they're just some really freaky, weird looking alien plants. I love to watch them unfurl. It totally gives me Alien versus Predator vibes, the way they're unfurling. It's just so freaking cool, and I love it. So I'll watch like the time-lapse videos of their leaves unfurling, and I would jealously drool while I'm waiting for the leaves to unfurl, you know? So to finally have one, I got this for $50 off of the Green Escape on Etsy. I think they have an actual website as well if you prefer to go to the website. I do, but I didn't look it up. So next time I will definitely do that, so that way Etsy doesn't get the fees and the seller can get all the money for their hard work, you know. So there is that, but very exciting. I will definitely do an update on this new little baby leaf that's coming in. So as you can see, as it starts out, it's really just these thin spear-shaped leaves, which I was talking about earlier. A lot of baby philodendron do, especially if they have weird funky shapes as they get older. They just come in with spear-shaped leaves of different, various colors depending on the philodendron, right? And then the tortum upscaled to this one, right? So it started to mature a bit after giving out quite a few of these little spear-shaped leaves, and now it's actually got full tortum leaf going on right here, I can tell. So I'm pretty stoked to see what this new leaf is going to look like and to watch this plant mature. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. I'll do a short on this as soon as it unfurls, but you can also check me out on TikTok and Instagram. I'm posting pretty regularly on both of those these days. So, and then I've got some sponsored content and stuff coming up soon too. So that'll be on there and here, and I don't know, just all kinds of stuff. So definitely subscribe if you're into plants, because we're super nerdy about plants here. But so there is that, and yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. That's it. I have no idea how many plants that was. I don't know. If you were counting, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. If you have any tips, you have any tricks, if you have philodendron that you think I should get and should be on the wish list, definitely drop that down in the comments down below. I would love to have more on my list. You can never have enough philodendron, and at this point, I'm pretty hooked. I got accidentally hooked. Oh my gosh, but it's fun. I love them. Anyway, I will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!